furniture sales of 2021-2022 of this particular company. And then, basically once I'm done, I can click outside this particular box. And now guys, if I want to, basically let's say if I want to increase, change the font size, font type, I can choose Arial Black, I can choose anything like this. If I want to increase the font size, I can click on 16 or 18 or 20 as well, whatever I like. Okay, whatever I like, I can choose that. Okay, and then if I want to make it bold, I can do that. If I want to make it italics, I can do that. All of these things I can do that. Let's say if I want to make it center aligned, okay, I can do that as well. Okay, and moreover, I can play around with the size of this particular box as well. Okay, so यहाँ पे if you go see, as soon as you go to the to the corner of this particular box, you will be able to change the size. Okay, you will be able to change the size of this particular box. Okay, and as I am hovering, guys, a red line will appear. Let's wait for the red line. Guys, can you all see the red line which appears on the screen? Can you all see the red line which appears on the screen? Yes, this guys marks this center. Okay, this guys marks the center of our screen, and this is something which Power BI has been able to tell us automatically. Okay, so because we it looks really clean if we position it in the center. So let us position it in the center. I'll expand the box a bit as well, and I'll decrease the font size a bit so that all of it is fitting in one line itself. So guys, we have done step one of creating our dashboard, which is all right. Okay. So we have done step one of creating our dashboard, which is we have added a text box towards the top left. Everyone with me so far? Type in with you in the chat box if you are with me so far. With you, perfect. Okay, so we have added the text box. Now we'll start making the charts, we'll start making the visualizations in our yes. Okay, so for that what we'll need to do, we will need to click on the visualization pane over here. Okay, we'll need to click on the visualization pane over here. Let me click on the visualization pane over here. I'll expand it, and now I have the visualization pane expanded, as you can see on this part of my screen. Okay, now what we'll need to do, on the bottom of our screen, we'll need to start our dashboard. Guys, this is one advice that I'm giving to you all, which has come from the number of years of experience that I have in creating Power BI dashboards. I would seriously like to advise you, like it is not mentioned in any of the books or anything like that, but I would seriously like to advise you that always start building your dashboard from the bottom of the canvas. Why so? Because it really helps you in aligning everything in your Power BI window. Okay, do not start from the top, always start from the bottom, so that how your entire dashboard. Okay, so always start building your dashboard from clear to each and everyone. Yes, clear? Always from, okay? So bottom of the canvas se start karte hain. So firstly, let's make a column chart. Okay, so you can see the difference. Firstly, let me show you guys what are the different sort of visualization options that you have. You have a stacked bar chart, a stacked column chart, a clustered bar chart, clustered column chart, 100% stacked chart, 100% stacked column chart, etc. Line chart. You have line and stacked column chart. You have pie charts. You have donut charts. You have multi-row cards. You have a card option as well. You have Python visuals which you can add. You have key influences which you can add. So all of these different options. You have gauge charts as well which you can add. So you have all of these multiple options. You have tables also. You can add a table in your Power BI visual. So all of these different type of visualization options is something which Power BI gives you automatically. You need to choose what are the different visualizations that you need to make, and accordingly you can go ahead. So in this particular session, we are trying to make a dashboard like this, right? We are trying to make a dashboard as I just showed you. Correct? This is the dashboard that we are trying to make. So let's try to replicate this sort of a dashboard. Over here on the bottom left of your screen, what is something that you need to do? You need to add a stacked column chart over here. Okay? And guys, there is no right visualization over here. Like, there is no right visualization that over here you should be adding a column chart itself. Over here you should be adding a bar chart. Over here you should be adding a line chart. There is nothing like that. Okay? Whatever makes the most amount of sense, whatever makes the most amount of sense to you, that is something that you need to do. Let's say the boss wants to see how the margin has been impacted over the years, in 2021, 2022, over different months, over different dates of 2021, 2022, how the margin has fluctuated. If you want to show something like that, you can use the help of a stacked column chart for that. Right? I'll click on stacked column chart, and once I do that, I can position it anywhere on my screen. So I'll position it towards the bottom left hand side. Again guys, you can see I can expand it, I can decrease it, and once I bring it to somewhere over here, it automatically marks the center of my screen, and that is why let me choose this particular option. Okay, I'll choose this option towards the center, till the center of my screen. And over here, I want to show margin by, how it has changed over here. So what I'll do, I will go to the data pane. Do you see the margin column over here? What I'll do, I will simply drag this margin column. Okay, I will simply drag this margin column and position it in the y-axis. Okay, showing it to you guys again. What you need to do, go to the data pane, margin option is there, margin column is there, drag it and drop it under y-axis. Drop it and drag it under y-axis of this particular column. So now margin is being showcased in this particular, on this, stacked column chart. Why on y-axis? You can position it in x-axis as well. That is completely fine. You can position it in x-axis as well. But then, margin will be on the x-axis and dates will be on the y-axis. So it will look a bit weird. So that is something that you could have done when you were, plotting a stacked bar chart. Okay, in a stacked column chart. In a stacked column chart, you need to have margin on the y-axis and dates on the x-axis, so that you can have a margin versus dates, sort of a graph. Okay? Okay? Chalo. So margin, I'll put it under the y-axis, and date is something I'll put it under the x-axis. So guys, as soon as I do it, your minds will be completely blown, because we have already created our first chart where you have been able to show what is the sum of margin for each and every single date of your entire data set. Okay, in January of 2021, for each of these dates, what was the margin that the company was making in February, in March of 2021, like this, till the end of your data set, which is till December 2022. For each and every date, you have been able to show the margin of the company in a matter of seconds. In a matter of seconds. Moreover, guys, I'll go back to the data set. Let me go back to the data set once. Guys, in this data set, okay, in this data set, do you see that the date, month, year or quarter of the sale has been shown differently in different columns? Do you see that? There is just one date option, right? There is just one date option. Okay, so Power BI is smart enough. Power BI is very, very smart that once you connect this particular Excel with Power BI, it automatically breaks that date, that date into year, into month, into quarters as well. Automatically done that. How many of you are absolutely mind blown by this feature of Power BI? Type in MB in the chat box if you are mind blown by this feature of Power BI, where a simple date column a simple date column has been broken down into year, month, day, and moreover quarter as well. So you can see, let's see it month-wise, quarter-wise, year-wise. You can simply remove day over here. I'll remove day over here. Once I remove day over here, you can see for every month, every year, okay? Jan, Feb, March, Jan to December 2021, Jan to December 2022, all of this identified in a simple chart. Okay, and let's say the boss does not want to see quarter wise also, the boss just wants to see month wise, you can do that. Or let's say the boss wants to see it only quarter wise, not month wise, you can do that as well. Okay, I can just simply add quarter over here, and for every quarter this is represented in a form of a stacked column chart. How amazing it is. Type in amazing in the chat box, the way that we were able to create the first visualization of our of our canvas. Amazing, amazing, perfect guys. So this is how we were able to create the first visualization, sum of margin by year and quarter. Okay, let's go ahead and create more visualizations. Let's say we want to showcase sum of number of items for each and every single product, sum of number of items for each and every product. So for that, what is it that you can use? You can use a donut chart or a pie chart for that. Let's say I want to use a donut chart. I'll click on donut chart. Then again, I'll drag this donut chart towards this bottom right side of my screen. Okay, I'll do that. And over here, let me create a donut chart. Let's say I want to show number of items for every single product. So what I'll do, I will add number of items. Okay, I will add number of items to the values thing over here. And for every product, okay, product I'll add to the legend. Okay, it is again, legend is like x-axis, values is like y-axis. Okay, legend is like x-axis, values is like y-axis. So if I do that, I have sum of number of items by product. And if I want to decrease the size, like I think this is too big a space in order to make a donut chart like this, I can reduce the size even further. Okay, and Power BI will help me where I can position this. Where can I position this in order to basically have something like this? Okay, so I have been able to create this sort of a chart as well. Which is sum of number of items for every single product. And guys, I want all of you to focus on one thing. Okay, guys, sum of number of items for every single product. Like we had told Power BI number of items. We had never told sum of number of items. Agree with me? We had never given this information. What is the sum of number of items? For every sale, we had given number of items. But Power BI automatically, if you click this down button over there, you can see Power BI automatically has calculated the sum of number of items for every single product. Automatically it has able to do that. Let's say instead of sum of number of items, you want to show average of number of items, you can do that. I'll show it again how. Simply click on the down arrow over here. Once you do that, instead of sum, if you want to showcase average, we can do that as well. Okay, so now you see the entire chart has been modified to average of number of items by product. Instead of this, let's say if you want to show count distinct, okay, simply click on count distinct. It will show you the count of number of items for every product. If you want to keep it as sum itself, simply click on sum, and it will show you sum of number of items for every single product, and your work will be done. So guys, we have created the second visualization as well. How many of you are absolutely amazed by how simple Power BI is looking to you right now? Type in simple in the chat box if your narrative of Power BI, how difficult tool it is, I won't be able to do it, etc. We are being able to create simple visualizations in such an easy manner. Correct? Now chalo, let's make one more chart. Let's make sum of number of items by product we have made. Let's say we want to showcase sum of number of items by product. Instead of sum of number of items, we want to showcase count of number of items by product. Okay, let's again make a let's say we want to make a column chart again for this. So I'll make a column chart. I'll drag it over here. I'll reduce its size. Let me reduce its size. create my third visualization over here. Number of items I want to show on the y-axis, product I want to show on the x-axis, and instead of sum of number of items, I want to showcase count of number of items. Okay, I want to showcase count of number of items for every single product. Okay, guys, this is something which I wanted to show you later on, but it has come on my screen, so let me just show it to you. Guys, I told you about the interactive feature of Power BI, right? So if I click, let's say, if I click somewhere on, let's say on quarter 4, okay? If I click on quarter 4, alright, let me go back. So if I click on quarter 4, you can see the entire table has come of quarter 4 only. Okay, let's say if I want to see of only marble dining table, what were the numbers for only marble dining table? Okay, if I click on marble dining table only, do you see my entire dashboard? Okay, my entire dashboard has been converted to of marble dining, what was it? To marble dining table only, like quarter 1. Now it is showing me the numbers only for marble dining tables only. Count of number of items for marble, like it is all only marble dining items have been highlighted, and all of the remaining elements in the dashboard has been dulled out. Do you see that? Do you see that? So this is the interactivity feature of Power BI. I'll be showing you more about it going forward in the session. Okay? I'll be showing it. Don't worry. Okay, don't worry. I'll be showing it more about it, going forward in the session. So now we have created the sum of number of items. We have created the count of number of items as well. Let's say if we now want to see the revenue for every single salesperson. Okay, let's say if we want to see the revenue for every single salesperson. So what I'll do, let me show it again in the form of a donut chart. So what I'll do, guys, do we need to create another donut chart for that? Okay, do we need to do that? You can do that, or you can simply go over here, type on Control C, Control C, Control V. So just like any other platform, you can copy and paste one of your charts as well. So I did Control C, Control V, and I have been able to create one more donut chart, as you can see right now in front of your screen. Okay, so Control C, Control V, I copy pasted, and you can see I have been able to create one more donut chart. And if I want to showcase revenue for every salesperson of my company, so what I can do in this particular donut chart, okay, I'll remove these two items, and I will simply drag revenue in values and salesperson in legend. So revenue for every salesperson, sum of revenue by salesperson, we have been able to create a donut chart for that as well, and that too again in a matter of seconds. Now let's say if we want to showcase sum of number of items for every salesperson, but now we do not want to use a donut chart for it, we can make a pie chart for it as well. Let me create a pie chart. I'll position it over here on my screen. I'll decrease the size. Then I'll showcase number of items over here in values and for every salesperson over here. So sum of number of items by salesperson, we have created a chart for that as well. Guys, how many of you are mind blown how fast, first chart we took a lot of time. Now after that, how faster we are being able to create our entire visualization, our entire dashboard. Now again, let's say if we want to add more columns on, let's say more donut chart. So what I'll do, I'll again use Control C, I'll paste it over here. Okay, and let's say now I want to show revenue by for every region. Okay, revenue for every region. So I'll remove salesperson over here and I'll add region over here. Guys, see how quickly we were able to create a donut chart, sum of revenue by region. Now let's say I want to create another pie chart. So I'll go over here, I'll Control C, Control V, and then basically I'll position my pie chart over here. Once I do that, let's say over here I want to show, let's say guys, you want to show let's say by region you want to show, instead of revenue you want to show margin. Okay, you want to show margin by salesperson, margin by region, let's say. Okay, revenue you will add over here, and region you will add in legend. So now you have gotten the sum of, okay, instead of revenue I wanted to show in margin, right? So I'll add margin over here. Okay, so sum of revenue by region, sum of margin by region, you have gotten all of it. Okay, you have gotten all of it over here itself. Let me just simply remove this. I'll remove this as well. Okay, so guys, the bottom half or bottom 40% of our dashboard is completed. We have been able to show sum of region, sum of revenue, sum of margin by region, sum of revenue by region as well. Now let's say if we want to showcase, let's say if we want to showcase two things together. Okay, let's say if we want to showcase two things together in our dashboard. Okay, let's see this dashboard. If we want to showcase product and margin together with the help for every single salesperson. Now guys, for that, if we want to showcase it in one single chart itself, do you know how we can create showcase it in one single chart itself? Do you know how we can show it in one single chart itself? We have to, for that, what we need to do, we need to use a line and stack column chart. Both of it together we need to use. Okay, so let me click on line and stack column chart. Once I do that, again let me position it towards here in my, okay, done. So I have positioned it over here. Let me increase the size of this particular chart. I think this is a good size. Okay, now I want to showcase, for every salesperson, I want to showcase, let's say revenue and margin together. I want to showcase revenue and margin together for every salesperson. So what I'll do, let's say revenue, I'll bring salesperson to the x-axis. Now I'll bring revenue to the column y-axis. So now I have revenue for every salesperson in a form of a column chart. I have been able to create that. Okay, I've been able to create that. But now in this particular chart itself, I want to add margin as well. So what is the best way that you can do that? You can add margin to the line y-axis. Okay, so guys, now do you see? Let's say if the boss wants to see both of it in one chart, if you hover over it, so for this particular salesperson, which is Varun Sharma, you are being able to see the sum of margin as well and sum of revenue as well. Both of it in one single chart itself. Let's say instead of sum of revenue, you wanted to see the number of items, the count of product, which this particular salesperson is selling. You can add count of product as well. Count of product and sum of margin for every single salesperson in one single chart itself. How many of you are mind blown by how simple yet amazing this particular chart is? How you are being able to see the correlation in this particular chart? Amazing, right? Amazing. You can do that as well. Okay, you can do that. You can play around with it. Let's say instead of count of product, you want number of items. You can do that as well. Okay, you can do that. You have the complete creative liberty in order to make your dashboard. I'm just showing you a way how you can make us, this sort of a dashboard. Let's say you want to see number of items for count of number of items for every year and month. Okay, and you want to see it with the help of a line chart. Okay, all right, wait. So guys, one more feature about Power BI. Let's say you have this particular chart selected. Okay, now if you click on some other chart, let's say if you click on line chart, your entire graph will be converted to that of a line chart. Okay, so what you need to do if you want to create another visualization, click anywhere in the canvas, click on a blank part in the canvas and then add a line chart over it. Okay, then add a line chart over here. Okay, so let me position this as well, this chart. Okay, now let's say I want to see, as I mentioned, number of items, count of number of items for every year and month. Okay, I'll do that. I'll remove quarter from here because I want to see it month wise. I'll remove day as well. Okay. And instead of sum of number of items, I want to see count of number of items. Okay. So I have count of number of items. Boss wants to see count of number of items for every, every month of both the years. I've been able to showcase that with the help of this simple visualization. Now let's say I want to showcase more data. I want to add filters to my data. Let's say I want to add filters to my data. How you can go about doing that? Okay, you can add filters. Okay, let us see where filters are. Okay, let us find filters over here. Okay, you can see slicers over here. Guys, do you see slicers over here? So we can use slicers. We'll be using, in fact, slicers itself in order to slice our data. Okay, we'll be using slicer itself in order to slice our data. So let me add a slicer. Okay, I'll click on slicer, and once you add a slicer, I'll position the slicer as well over here. Now guys, what exactly is a slicer? Let's say the boss wants to see all of this data specific to a customer. Okay, there were various customers in our data set. You can see there were various customers in our data set: Tile and Spa, Metro Emporium, Designer Homes, etc. etc. Let's say the boss wants to see everything specific to a particular particular customer. Okay, a particular customer. So what we'll do? I'll simply drag customer over here and put it in this particular field. Now guys, let's say I want to see all of this data in the dashboard specific to Style and Spa, or let's say specific to Designer Homes. I'll simply click on Designer Homes, and you can see the entire dashboard. The entire dashboard has been modified to that for Designer Homes only. How many of you are absolutely mind blown right now? The entire dashboard has been converted to that of Designer Homes only. Great, amazing, MB, OMG, mind blown. Okay, I'll show you more slices. Do not worry about it. I'll show you more slices. Okay, first, okay, let me just remove it and I'll show it to you once again. Okay, let's say I want to showcase my entire data for a specific customer. What I'll do, I'll add a slicer. I'll position it towards here in my screen. Okay, and then I will add, let's say for customers, I want to see it customer wise. I'll do that, and then I'll choose any customer. Let's say I want to choose Elite Designs. I'll choose Elite Designs, and my entire data set has been converted to that of Elite Designs. So like this, let's, basically you can slice your entire data in a matter of seconds. So if the boss asks you what is the data set, what is the sum of margin by revenue only for Style and Spa, simply click on Style and Spa, and this thing will be modified to sum of margin by region for only Style and Spa. This is the power of slicers, guys. Okay, but one suggestion from my side to you when you are using slicers is that this is taking too much of space. So what you need to do, simply click on, in the slicer option, simply click on this middle button over here, format your visual. Okay, simply click on format your visual over here. Once you click over here, there is slicer setting. Okay, in slicer setting, I would suggest instead of vertical list, have a drop down option. Have a drop down option because it will take much less space. As you can see over here, if I go to all, I can see all of these options, just that it will take much less space. If it take much less space, you can reduce the size of your slicer so as to fit in more and more data. So you can see you have added one slicer of customer. Like this, if I Control C, Control V, I can add more slicers as well in my data. Okay, I can add more and more slices. Okay, now let's say in this one, I don't want customer wise, I want product wise. For a specific product, the boss wants to see the data, I'll add product slicer over here. Then, let's say I want to add more slicers. I'll paste over here. Wait, let me remove this. I'll again click over here, Control C, Control V. Let me drag this. I'll position this over here. Okay, wait. Yeah, let me position it over here. Let's say I want this region wise. instead of customer wise, I want region wise. I can add a region wise slicer, and let's say I want one more slicer of salesperson wise. I can do that as well. Okay, I can do that as well. Over here, what I'll do, instead of customer, I'll add salesperson over here. So guys, why have I added 4 slices? Let's say the boss wants to know for a specific customer, let's say for style and spa, okay, what were the different products that for the 7-seater sofa recliner, who for the Northeast region, for this particular salesperson, there were only 2 salesperson who catered to the Northeast region, having style and spa as customer, and sold 7-seater product recliner. So for that also, who were the 2 salesperson? So you have gotten your answer, Puri Silky and Varun Sharma. Now for Varun Sharma also, if you add, so you have added 4 slices in your data, and you have the data for Varun Sharma as a salesperson in the Northeast region, for Style and Spa as the customer, selling 7-seater sofa and recliner. What was the data? You have the entire dashboard right in front of you, giving you all of these details in a matter of seconds. That is the power of it. Guys, type in power in the chat box if you see how powerful slicers are. It is just amazing. Power. Wow, it is so easy. Awesome. Slicing data has never been so easy. Absolutely. Spider-Man. Awesome. Powerful. I love slicers. Powerpuff. You sliced it well. I can simply unselect everything. Okay. I can simply select everything. You have been able to add 4 slices as well. Now let's say you want to showcase the sum of revenue in the form of a gauge chart. You want to showcase sum of revenue. So gauge charts are great for that. If you want to showcase sum of revenue, let's say I want to position it over here. I want to reduce the size of this a Power BI window. And let's say you want to showcase more items. Let's say instead of gauge chart, you can use something like a card visual as well. Let me see where this is a card visual. Okay, so you can showcase numbers in a form of a card visual. If you do not want to use gauge chart, you can use card visuals as well. Okay, reduce this. Let's say instead of that, you want to have number of items. Let's say the boss wants to have count of number of items instead of sum of number of items. The boss wants to see count of number of items on a real-time basis. So you can have something like this. Over here, let's say if the boss wants to see, guys, tell me what else you want to see. Maybe count of number of items is there. Sum of number of items also boss wants to see. Okay, so you have sum of number of items as well. So this way, guys, you have been able to create an amazing dashboard which showcases count of number of items, sum of number of items, sum of revenue, sum of margin. You have been able to add 4 slices: sum of margin by region, sum of revenue by region, sum of margin by year and quarter, count of number of items by year and month. Like this.